So I'm just gonna do like a quick 20-minute little download. I have the tendency to overtalk on my presentation, so sorry. Hopefully it was all rich and good and useful information for you. Yes.
We're gonna record it and we'll have the
We're gonna record it. You started recording it. Lita will have the recording, and then you can all connect with her to get the recording. I also do Zoom trainings, averaging about once a week. It just depends on my travel schedule. So this Wednesday I'll be doing an 1.5-hour long Zoom training. And I can get the link prior out to Rachel. And Lita and I aren't totally connected yet, but we'll connect more.
I used to be your friend on Facebook yesterday.
What do you mean you used to? Oh, you asked me to. Oh, good, great. I'll say yes. I'll say yes. We can be Facebook friends. Awesome. So there are other ways that you can kind of go into deeper training with myself. We have amazing leaders building this company and doing the training. Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. There's usually the team training call. I know. Afterwards I was like, wait a minute, why did I book it at 10? Yeah, I kind of had a little brain fart there with it. Usually I wouldn't book things at 10 on Saturdays because I believe that training call with the company is really critically important. We get updates and those kind of things. We'll be able to listen to the recording in a couple of days, but there's a lot of ways for you all to plug in. A lot of great people for you to get training through. The lineage that all of you are in is phenomenal. Dr. Erin Pollinger is incredible. She has massive resources. Her coaching call on Mondays at noon is a really phenomenal one. It's a little bit of a different take than, the company calls are more training and leadership and that kind of thing. Really, with network marketing, and Erin's Monday at noon Pacific coaching call is really about mindset, and it's really about just constantly checking in and making sure we're keeping in alignment and taking care of ourselves as we build this business, because you are an entrepreneur. If you're doing this, you are an entrepreneur, you're running your own business, and the number one thing in building your own business, I believe, is mindset and your state of being. Okay, so that breaks down into a lot of different things. Your state of being is deeply affected by, are you staying in balance? Are you working too hard? Are you not working enough and kind of being spacey and all over the place and not focused? Are you giving yourself the emotional and physical support to, be starting something new? I have upped my self-care. Love it. I love it. I mean, never before have I been in the position to afford a weekly body work session. Now I can't. That's something that is just like supports me, nourishes me, takes care of me, helps me fill my cup back up so that as I'm, helping to run a team of over 6,000 people, I'm in overflow, right? Rather than depletion. So one of the things that I don't tend to necessarily be your comp plan girl. I was with another network marketing company for 1.5 years, and I still at that point couldn't probably have really explained every single detail on the comp plan. We had some upgrades and changes to our comp plan recently, about a month ago, so I'm still learning it. There are other leaders in the company, especially JT, that really have a grasp in a much deeper way of the new comp plan, and will be much better. You'd be much better served doing that training with them. So I tend to be more about the relationship building aspect of this, the personal mission, and you getting really in alignment with why you're here. And then also the team building, right? Really building the energy and the energetics of a team, helping people get started right. Those are some of the areas that I feel like I really excel in. One of the things I like to share is the numbers game. Network marketing is a numbers game. Okay, what I want you to start to understand in your head is that when you're building a team, okay, I don't have over 6,000 people on my team because I've gone out and personally sponsored all those people. That would take years, right? So I have a team of over 6,000 people because I brought in and helped get started some really amazing leaders. I knew when I got my yes to do this, I was like very strategic about it. I knew the level of income that I wanted, how quickly I wanted it, and I also was very committed that I was going to go to the top of this company and I wanted to be one of the top leaders. Right now, I'm the number 4 earner in the company. So I've managed to do that by being really strong and clear and centered in my knowing of what I'm doing here, right? So if you're new, or even if you're not new, if you don't know what you're playing for here, if you don't have it like deep down in your soul and in your heart and in your emotional body of what you're playing for here, it probably won't really go anywhere. And what I mean by that is there's a saying called, there's a saying in the industry, well, it's about knowing your why. Why are you here? Why did you choose to say yes? Why are you building a business with Prime My Body? Why are you building a business with cannabis? Right? So you're going to want to make sure and have a journal about that. I still add to my whys. They grow as time goes along. When I first started, my why was, I really don't want to have to move from my really lovely sanctuary home with my boys. I remind you, I was going through separation, and, finances were back fully on me. And it was clear that I needed to, up the game financially big time quickly to be able to maintain the lifestyle that I had with my boys. So there was just a very practical why of, okay, I want to make X, Y, and Z a month because I want to be able to still provide for my boys in the level that we have been. And I want them to still have their home. Very practical, deeply passionate, right? As a mama, as a parent, we all know that deep passion to want to provide for our children. Now it's grown, it's evolved. It's like, those deeper reasons were always there. My deeper reasons of wanting to really help revolutionize healthcare and wellness. That's been a mission of mine for about 2 decades with the work that I do. Really huge. I'm a huge being around helping people have sovereignty and freedom. Sovereignty and freedom in their healthcare choices. Again, we are so brainwashed in our country. There is such a monopoly happening in the world of healthcare, quote. It's, sick care. And to be a part of helping educate people that they have greater choices for themselves and their families is a huge part of my mission. But also just wanting to play a really, really, really big role in shifting massive paradigms around the world, helping people wake up, helping people raise their consciousness so that we can create a healthier, more sane, more vibrant, more pleasure-based, more joyful life, right? I really believe this oil does this. My favorite moment of the launch was when Christopher Shade stood up, and he had done all the science stuff, which is brilliant and amazing, and I love it. About 40% of it goes over my head, but I love it. He stood up and he was like, it was a transmission moment. It was a total transmission moment. He stood up and he said, this oil, this plant brings people back to beingness. Beingness. It aligns us. It connects us. It plugs us into our highest selves, to our highest wisdom, to the greatest wisdom of our own bodies, the ability for our own bodies to self-heal, right? It empowers us to have the greater visions of what we're doing in our lives, to be greater aligned with our dharmic path, our mission. And that, to me, it's that's the foundation of it all. So you all have to get completely anchored and rooted as to why you are doing this, right? Why are you choosing to build a business with Prime My Body? Why are you choosing to help grow a company that's a startup? You're going to have challenges, you guys. If you haven't been told that yet and you aren't experiencing that, just know growing a company that is a revolution, that is doing something that 4 years ago would have been totally illegal. We are carving out a pathway for a revolution. And so just know that. Just be patient when the challenges happen. Be patient when you don't hear back from support right away. Be patient when your product takes longer than you would like. Okay? It's just part of the process. Take ownership. Right? Take ownership of what you're doing here. Don't let the little things distract you from your deeper purpose and your mission. Because if you're unwavering in that, then all of the how-to and all of the things that you need to know and need to understand and need to be able to convey to people will happen. But if you're not solid in your mindset, if you're not solid in your energetics, if you're kind of like, well, I don't know, we'll just see what happens. That's not the mindset of a leader. If someone is going to join your team, if someone is going to be an affiliate and work with you, they're going to choose to do that because they feel something in you. They feel a passion and a purpose and a clarity and a mission that they're like, wow, like I can do this with this person as my business partner. So all of the other stuff, like learning the comp plan, figuring out all the systems, all of that in my mind is secondary. It's secondary to you getting completely aligned and on purpose here. And again, everybody's reasons are different. There's no right or wrongs. There's no da-da-da. It's about yours. And it's about getting connected with a why that is so powerful and so strong that it makes you cry. Okay, why? Why would it make you cry? It makes you cry because you've touched on something so deep and so powerful and so true to your heart and your soul that you're going to be willing to take a stand for it. You're going to be willing to be committed to it. You're going to be willing to be patient for it. And you're going to be solid in the path that you're carving forward. It has not been easy, 9 months, not being able to say who our scientist was, not being able to answer all kinds of questions. Like, there's a lot of stuff that was not easy about building this business in the last 9 months. But what always got me through it was going back to my whys. Why am I here? What is my purpose? What am I a part of? Who am I fighting for? Right? We're fighting for something really powerful here, you guys. It's huge. This is a movement. This isn't just building some little network marketing business. Okay? So figure out, take the time. We're not going to do it right now. Generally, I would do like a nice meditation of getting really in touch with it, helping you write it down and really get it down into writing so you can later read it and go back over it. Do that on your own time. But those are your first, that's the first thing I want you to get just super solid in, is get super solid in why you are doing this and why you have chosen to say yes. And then do the things that support that, get the education that you need. Watch the videos from Dr. Christopher Shade to build up your belief. If you have any kind of around network marketing, which a lot of people do, our country still has a lot of kind of weird stuff around network marketing. Network marketing is an industry like any others. There's been phenomenal companies and phenomenal people in network marketing, and there's been some people that were in it for greedy reasons or whatever, right? So one of the best ways, I think, to clear out any like residue of questions or concerns about the industry is to follow Eric Worre, W-O-R-R-E. He is a trainer in the industry that is bringing such professionalism to the industry. He's not associated with our company or any specific company, but he's just an incredible trainer and teacher and speaker. There's an event coming up in Las Vegas. If I could go, I would absolutely be there, but I cannot go because that's what I'm doing, my Jeffus reunion in Boulder, Colorado. But he's doing a 2-day event for $50 in Las Vegas. If anybody wants that information, 1st and 2nd of August. Yeah, so coming up in a couple of weeks, but we can get that information if you need it. I'll get it to you, and then it can be disseminated out. I know last I heard you could still sign up for it, but I was looking at an event with Eric Worre, and it was going to be $4,000. Yeah. So yeah, he's filming during it. So the agreement is that you don't mind being filmed and being in some of his videos. But $50 to spend 2 days with Eric Worre. Oh my God, you guys, if you can go. If I hadn't already had a family that 10 different airplane tickets and a space for renting, I would change it. But Eric Worre is just brilliant. Read his book, Go Pro. Okay, read his book, but then also get on his email list and get subscribed to his YouTube channel.
There's a lot of free,
tons
seminars.
of free,
Yeah.
tons of free information.
How do you spell his last name?
W-O-R-R-E. Yeah, and he's just, what was that?
So you can get it off Audible.
Yeah.
Or sign up for Amazon, whatever it is.
Now follow him
Yeah.
on
It's like
Facebook.
$5 if you already have
Yeah,
Apple.
free,
Yep.
free training.
Get on his Facebook.
Facebook,
yeah.
he's on
He
Instagram,
does,
he's
like,
on
free
YouTube.
seminars, a lot of them around recruiting and using
Yeah.
social media and
Yeah.
being in integrity in this.
Yeah.
in this field.
He bring, like, I just love the class, the style, the professionalism, the fun, the heart, the spirit that he brings to this industry. He also has some great videos that you can watch yourself if you still have a little bit of that network marketing, right? Or if you are talking with someone that just doesn't really understand the industry. Eric Worre has a video with Tony Robbins talking about network marketing being one of the most brilliant entrepreneurial pathways of our time. Okay. And so, you know, then we get to, like, not only be a part of this amazing industry, but we're also part of an incredible company, high integrity leadership that's blazing this, you know, incredible trail of cannabis, right? Amazing product. So do whatever you need to do to really get your belief systems, your mindset in order first. Okay. Because if you go out and you start talking to people, but you're like, well, I don't know. It's this network marketing thing, which I know is kind of weird and I don't really like it, but, you know, I like cannabis. So I think I think I'll build a business with this, but maybe it's not, you know, like if you go out with that kind of energetics, people are just gonna be like, you know, no, I'm not going to build with you. So back to the numbers game and duplication and multiplication, because I think this is really important for people to understand with network marketing. Well, first thing, you are all in training. We're all in training. Even though I've been a big fan of the industry for 10 years, I've worked at another company for a year and a half. Did fairly well with that company 10 years ago. That's where I really fell in love with the industry and the personal growth aspect of this. Know that between this oil and the personal growth aspect of running your own business and being an entrepreneur, you are going to hit up against your shit. You know, I mean, you just are. It's just going to, and the good thing is that the oil helps us to be able to walk through it and work through it in a much more easeful way. Like, I have never had such an easeful time with having to, like, deal with stuff. There's just something about this oil that nourishes our systems in a way that makes it so much more easy to handle and walk through issues and, you know, stuff that goes on, or having to face some of your own stuff that maybe you weren't ready to look at yet. So just know that's part of the process of being in this industry. Is part of the process of also this oil. I believe this oil is here to kind of help clean out what is no longer of the highest and the best. And it's here to really help us rebuild our lives from a place of integrity and purpose and passion and joy. So know that you're in Network Marketing University. Just know that your first several months, perhaps even your first several years, you're learning a new industry. You're learning new skills. It's part of the process. Make it fun. Know that it's not meant to be you sign up and then you know exactly what to do. You know, how long does a doctor study for? 12 years? What is it? I mean, forever, you know? You go work, you go get a job at McDonald's. You have 2 weeks of in-house training to start. So just understand that your first period of time is training. The best way to get trained is actually to be in action and plugging in. So get on those three-way calls with your upline, because you're listening to someone who's been building this business longer than you, be able to talk about this. So you're going to be learning while you're doing that. Get on all the company calls, watch the videos, do all of that. But do it while you're actually in activity, because the activity is where you learn the best. Okay, so the numbers game. I have 26 people direct to me. That means I have gone out and sponsored and brought in 26 people. Now, I've gotten extremely particular in the last 4 or 5 months. I tend to kind of send people down my line. That's been a choice that I have made because I'm in a position of leadership in the company now, and I'm managing so much, and I'm in the process of a move and all of this other stuff going on in my personal life, that I'm someone that I take sponsorship very, very seriously. I'm just going to tell y'all straight up, don't sponsor people if you really don't want to do this business, please. I've seen people get sponsored by someone who was kind of half-assing it, and that person that came in gets left in the dust. Because the person that brought them in that said, I'm going to do this with you, just fades away. Now, Fortunately, there's ways that upline then just reaches down and we give them the support that they need. But I've gotten I'm bold in this, like get your commitment solid in this before you start bringing people in. Really, like, do yourself that favor, and then also do that favor to the people that you're prospecting. Because if you bring people in and then you decide you're not going to do it, it's like, that's really unfair to those people that you've brought in as business partners, right? So get solid, get clear about what you're doing here. I've brought 26 people in that are direct to me. That's not an unreachable number in 9 months. I really believe anybody could do that. I really believe anybody could do that, especially if you get solid in your faith and your commitment and your belief about what we're doing here with this product. So out of that 26 people, helping those people get started effectively, being a business partner to them, mentoring them, giving them my time and my attention, making sure I have space in my calendar to do 3-way calls with them, to train with them, to meet with their prospects. That's the role of a sponsor, okay? JT coined this phrase, be responsorable. Right? Be a sponsor who is responsible to the people that you bring in. So this is all about relationship building. This is all about loving up the people that you bring in. This is what I spoke about at launch, because I've done this really well. I'm actually, like, out of a lot of people in the industry, I've actually brought in and signed up a lot less than most people have. But I've done it in this way where, one, I got really clear about the energetics and the essence of the people that I was bringing in. I was clear from day one. I wanted to bring in leaders. I wanted to get people that I wanted to magnetize and draw in people that had their absolute hell yeses and were, seeing what is possible with this. And we locked arms and we're doing this together. So when you're starting your business, that's a really big thing to do. Meditate on it, pray on it, really feel into, like, oh, who would I love to build this business with? Because you're forming a partnership with those people. You're forming a hopefully long-term partnership. And not always, and I've certainly had some of the people that I've brought in that have faded away and have decided this isn't for them. And this business isn't for everyone. It's not. And you won't necessarily know. You have your job as a messenger, as a connector, as someone who's building this business and looking for your team. Your job is to help the person that you're sharing this with go on this curious, investigative exploration of, is this right for them? I think the oil and the product is right for everybody. So that's just a given. To me, there's hardly anyone that I think couldn't benefit from this oil. I'm talking about business building now. When you're looking for who's going to build this business with you and build a distribution network, that's what we're doing. We're building teams. So when you're, really working with someone and you're in that prospecting phase, multiple touches over a short period of time. You don't want to overwhelm people. You want to be piquing curiosity. It's like when when you start to have a crush on someone, or there's like a little romantic thing starting to happen. You wouldn't on the first date be like, okay, I'm ready to marry you, right? You don't know if the person that you're inviting into your business, if it's really a good fit for them yet. There's a process that we go through. There's a journey. There's conversations that happen. There's a reveal of, this is what we're up to. Here's the product. Try it. Here's what this business is about. Watch these videos with me. Let's talk. It's this exploration. Right? It's never about pressuring anybody. It's never about, twisting someone's arm to join your business. Believe me, if you have to convince someone to be in this business with you, now, remember, those of you that were here for the presentation, Erin didn't take my first no. My first no was, well, I'll try the product, but I have no bandwidth to build a new business. That was my first no. And she didn't, turn away and just drop it at that point. She was very, very persistent, but gentle and respectful. She just, over like 3-4 days, she just gently kept giving the invitation. Really, honey, I just take a look at it. Let's just spend 10 minutes together taking a look at it, because I really think that if you get your head around this, you might see something here that would really change your life. And she was so freaking right, I'm so glad she didn't give up on me. I'm like, sometimes I think about it, I'm like, oh my God, this has changed my life more radically than I think almost anything else. Maybe mamahood, So again, you never want to convince people. You never want to twist their arms. You never want to, pressure someone to join your business, because it'll end up being more strain. It can compromise your relationship with that person. Just be in a curious, like messenger guide kind of relationship with them, where you're helping them do this investigation of, how does this feel for you? Do you see yourself participating in this? What are your questions? What other information can I get to you so that we can continue to explore if this is something that would really benefit your life? So again, back to that 26, helping your people getting started effectively is one of the most important and crucial aspects of building a really strong organization. If you don't help your front line get started effectively, you can be out recruiting and prospecting and get super wide and have maybe in a year or two hundreds of people in your front line. But if none of them are duplicating, your organization doesn't go anywhere, right? You'll get a lot of fast builder rewards, right? That first 25%, but you won't grow an organization. To have over 6,000 people in my organization at this point now is because we've plugged into these systems. We've gotten, the leaders on my team are incredibly passionate about being there for their people. And I think that's, Aaron's organization and my organizations are the fastest growing organizations in the company. And I believe it's because we're bringing so much love, so much support, and so much team into this. And we're helping people get started in a way that they, get their mindset and their belief system and everything aligned. They get really passionate about what they're doing and why they're here. They build the relationships and the bonding of the community that we're building. And so they don't want to leave, right? It's about keeping that attrition rate. The fallout rate in network marketing can be really high. People think it's a get rich quick thing. They think, oh, I'll buy 10 bottles and then I'll just sit back and I should be, making $10,000 a month. No, it's a business. It's a business. So and it's a journey, and it's, you're learning about dealing with and learning how to navigate different relationship styles and different personalities. I'm a CEO, Chief Emotional Officer, 6,000 people, like learning how to work with all of these different personalities and needs and people, and helping people see when they're self-sabotaging and they're, projecting it out on someone else or the company or whatever. I mean, there's so many undertones and aspects to this. So, I think the biggest thing I want to impart to you all is those pieces. The systems are really easy to start learning and plugging into: welcome calls, launch calls, three-way calls, intro calls, plugging people into recordings, plugging people into videos, plugging people into your website. Again, you do not have to be a CBD expert. I mean, I still kind of trip up on cannabidiol. What am I supposed to say? CBD. But they don't really want us to keep saying CBD. So it's going to be an interesting thing. The corporate is actually coming down more and more of on recordings and calls and stuff. Don't say CBD. Say phytocannabinoid diols or whatever. So hemp oil. So you don't have to be an expert. In fact, you're better off not being an expert, because if you're talking to people and you're talking all this science stuff and people are like, whoa, that's over my head, they might become product users, but they're going to immediately be like, well, I can't do that. I can't do what she just did. I can't sit here and talk for 30 minutes about the endogenous cannabinoid system and all the ways that it's working in the body. And that's not my thing. You're better off keeping it simple, keeping it personal, keeping it about building the relationships, keeping it about, this is what we're doing. This is the mission that we're on. We're helping people have choices in their healthcare and in their finances. Then you let the website, you let Christopher shade, you let some of the doctors on the team, perhaps, you let other people be the experts. Because if someone sees you doing a very simple presentation and just sharing the simple slides, some of the core things about this, and then, hey, would you like to try the product? And, you can build a business with this if you want. People are going to be more curious, and they're going to think, oh, well, I could do that. I just have to do this presentation that's in my back office and share it with people. I could totally do that. You want to keep it simple. You want to keep it duplicatable. You want to plug into the systems. So, I think, really that's I'm very transmission oriented. I'm very heart, soul. you know, again, you can find out about all the systems. We can point you all in the right directions for that. Kiana Prema, who would be all yours uplines because she's above Dr. Lori. So technically you all are on her power team. Not, but it doesn't matter. I mean, all those of us that are at Black Diamond, and even before that, we're all like, it's like we're all one big team. So you can plug into anybody's trainings. You can plug into, I mean, sometimes certain leaders have like mastermind groups that are closed and smaller, but in general, like, you know, Kiana Prema, awesome with the systems, awesome training with the launch calls, awesome training with, you know, different tools and things that you can use to build your business easier. So we can, again, point you in the directions of all of those. We're all learning the comp plan together. There's some great calls in your back office about that. But, you know, my transmission to you is like, bring your heart and your soul into this. You know, bring your passion, bring your why, bring, you know, your purpose. Whatever you're already doing, I believe that this can be an absolute vehicle to access some of your greatest dreams. My actualizing of some of the most important and most long held dreams and aspirations in my life are coming to fruition faster and faster and faster through this vehicle. And that's what it can be for you. So like, hold it like that. Hold it as this really sacred and amazing and magical thing. And then all the how-tos come from that. Okay? Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks, Renee.
Yeah. And I'll hopefully be back. I am moving from Ashland to Boulder, Colorado, which means I won't be based this close to you all, but I will definitely be back, hopefully every few months or so. And I did. Are Patty and Jonah coming in? Do we know if they are? There might be.
You know, maybe in a few days.
Yeah, so we might be having, you guys all might be having another really super special. If you do get the word that Patty Universe and Jonah Kai are coming in, like, make it out.
Yeah.
Because they're awesome.
Yep.
Patty Universe.